Tom Brady 1, Patrick Mahomes 2, no surprises. But Aaron Donald is 3 over Peyton Manning at 4, Aaron Rodgers at 9, Drew Brees at 15, and Brett Favre at 17. Keyshawn, what's your biggest problem with this list?
Well, you know, when I start to look at the list, Skip, everybody's worthy of being on the list at somewhere, some point. I just think the way that they have it, like when I look at one of my former teammates at Derek Brooks at 25, I'm like, what are you watching? Since 2000? Like, literally, what did you watch for that 8-year stretch of his career, whatever you want to call it, 9-year stretch of his career? What have you been watching versus some of the other guys on the list? Derek should be above, he should be above Warren Sapp, in my opinion. He should be above Darrelle Revis. He should be in the top 10. Okay, that's just that's the top 10. Defensive player, man, the dude got crazy numbers. I didn't even pull up his statistics, but like literally he went to the Pro Bowl every single year when he was in the league in the Pro Bowl. 11 Pro Bowls and 5 All-Pros in like, I want to say 13 seasons. Was the leader, the heart and soul of a Super Bowl dominant defense.
You could make a case it was the greatest ever.
You can make the case the greatest ever. And you thought, when you thought of that defense, you thought of 55, period.
You did.
He made receivers slide to the ground. Beside that, though, when I look at some of these other, when I look at where's Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne, you got Peyton Manning on the list. It wouldn't be a Peyton Manning without those two. I mean, I'm just being honest with you and real with you. They not on the list, and it's like, okay, Brett Favre in 2000s? Like, Brett Favre went to the Super Bowl in like 96. After that Super Bowl, he went back again. They wound up losing. But then from 2000 on, he was just, you know, make a playoff here or there. But it wasn't where he should be 17th on the list. I mean, like, I don't see it like that. It's just, you know, Joe Thomas Hall of Famer, offensive tackle, Cleveland. Where's Jonathan Ogden?
That's a good one. Yeah.
Jonathan Ogden's not on this list. Orlando Pace is not on this list. Like, Jonathan Ogden, it's a crime for him not to be in the top 25. It's not. But the beauty of it all, to me, is the greatest of all time at the quarterback position is Tom Brady. Right underneath him is Patrick Mahomes. And right underneath him is Aaron Donald. Could you imagine, like, Aaron Donald as a defensive tackle, 10 times, he was in the league 10 times, 10 years. He went to 10 straight Pro Bowl. Every year he was in the league, he went to the Pro Bowl. Every single year. It's like a LeBron, Michael Jordan, All-Star type thing.
Since rookie year.
Since his rookie year. 8 All-Pros, which is like all NBAs, right? He's a 3-time Defensive Player of the Year. So that means he was the best on defense for 3 straight years. He went to 2 Super Bowls, won one. And, like, it's just like, the Defensive Rookie of the Year, like, he belongs right there, and to a point where you might want to push him to 2 ahead of Patrick Mahomes. As a defensive player. I mean, it's just unstoppable, man. You could, if you know football and you watching that stuff, they couldn't block him, man. They put 2-3 dudes on him, couldn't block him. He chased Joe Burrow down and made Joe Burrow get rid of the football. The reason the Cincinnati probably didn't win the Super Bowl. It's just crazy. But the list, you know, all the guys deserve to be on it, you know.
I know all these guys, but why wouldn't you put Terrell Owens in there?
He gonna be punished, man. They gonna just keep punishing T.O.
Yeah, why though? I don't get it.
Because his personality and people, he ain't never done nothing wrong off the field, but they just, that's how they treat him.
He was in the next 5 out. So
yeah, but I think he should be in there. I mean, 3rd all-time receiving yards.
They just, that's how they treat him. I don't know why they treat him that way.
Is he still not in the Hall of Fame?
No, he got in.
He got in finally, right?
He got in.
Yeah. I don't know who you take off. You know, it's a lot of greatness on this list. And Keyshawn, you know, you played against a lot of these guys.
They all deserve to be on the list.
All of them deserve to be on the list, but the one that just comes to mind is T.O. for me. I've always been a T.O. fan. I think he was one of the greatest of this generation. I thought he really, like they say, Michael Jordan changed the 2 guards landscape because the 2 guards back then were a little smaller. I thought T.O. kind of changed the landscape for bigger wide receivers. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. Were you You were
Same time.
same time, right? You and Terrell changed the landscape, I think, for like the over
Different.
6'2", 6'3" kind of receivers.
Yeah, we was getting big back
They were
then.
starting to get bigger.
Yeah, because you can't find like LeBron,
Right.
like LeBron James. You can't. There'll never be another LeBron James. You can't
Right.
find him. There'll
Right.
never be another Randy Moss. You're not gonna find that.
Right.
Kelvin Johnson might have been the closest to a Moss type, but you're just not gonna find Moss. T.O. was a game changer in his own right. The way he was able to get yak yards after things of that nature, but his personality rubbed a lot of people the wrong way just because they just needed something to nitpick him about, I guess.
Yeah.
And you know, some he did to himself, but I think he's always been criticized and treated wrong just because of you got to have a guy in my eyes that you got to go after for the wrong reasons. And here's a guy who never got in trouble off the field.
No.
Just was, you know, a receiver. Hell, he was just. That's what he was. He was a receiver with a personality and an attitude.
Just like Keyshawn Johnson.
Yeah, but I was respectful to the media. I don't necessarily know if he was respectful to the media.
Right.
You know, and so they punish him because of that.
Oh, okay.
Wrong, and double wrong.
Why?
I was there all the way through. I know Terrell, we have gone back, he and I have gone back and forth about this. I'm going to start with him, and he has greatness about him, and I don't disagree with your premise that maybe he could eke in
Right, he could eke in there somewhere.
in the 25 to 20 range. I'd have no problem with that. But he deserved the criticism he got because I covered his team in San Francisco, and as I called him, team obliterator, he tore that team apart. It was one thing after another until Terry Donahue, with whom I was close, said, more trouble than worth, we got to get him out of here. And they shipped him to Philadelphia, and it went from bad to worse. And he clashed with Brad Childress, then he clashed with Andy Reid, and finally they sent him completely home. They said, enough, you go home. We are going, remember he was in the driveway.
Doing the sit-ups and the whole deal.
Right, okay. All right.
But y'all punish him. See, to me,
but
see, to me, that's a punishment because
team disruptive.
Okay, because he's in his driveway doing sit-ups. That's his own damn fault. Let him look stupid.
But the team, Andy sent him home. Said that's enough of that.
I understand that.
Then he goes to Dallas, and your man,
Bill.
No, but the receivers coach, Haley.
Todd.
Todd Haley, yeah. They got into it and nearly came to blows one day. And you know how hot-blooded Todd can be. And everybody, Jason Witten challenged T.O. to a fight before a practice. He said, let's just you and I go at it right here. T.O. didn't want any part of that. Can't blame him for that. There were potential fights in the Philadelphia locker room that a lot of people told me about because he just disrupted.
It was him and Hugh Douglas had some issues.
That was one. That was another one where Hugh said, okay, let's you and I go right here.
Yeah.
And Terrell wanted no part of that. Okay, the point is, I don't doubt the greatness because
what the hell does
he
that
was
have to
big
do?
and could run.
But what does that have to do with him making the list?
Right. It's why the people who know what went on would say, well, we'll give him 30, but we're not going to give him up here like 20 somewhere.
Okay, all right, that's fair.
Now, here's my other problem with the list. This is just me. I'm quarterback-centric just because it's the hardest position to play in sports, and you just can't find them like these guys. These guys are all-time greats because if you look at the overall passing yards, you know, it goes Brady, Breeze, Peyton, and Favre. If you look at overall touchdowns, it goes Brady, Breeze, Peyton, and Favre. And because of that, they just belong higher on the list to me. This is just me, and I get you about it's the 2000. I get it, but even Brett, he was still playing at a very high level after 2000. Remember the NFC Championship game?
Yeah, Minnesota.
Yeah. Okay. The point is, even if this is just me, if you took Brett in 2000, 2001, 2002, and you said, would you rather have that guy or Aaron Donald at his greatest, wherever, because he was obviously in this century, I'm taking Brett Favre every day, every night.
What are we working with? Am I working with a serviceable quarterback? What do I already have? You said if I'm taking him. What do I already have?
I mean, I'm doing it in a vacuum. I'm just going player for player. And listen, Aaron Donald is all-time great, but he can't impact the game the way Brett can.
Skip, you almost made me curse.
I saw it. I watched it closely.
Me too.
The first 5 games that Aaron Donald played against my Dallas Cowboys, he was a ghost. Seriously.
Oh.
Well, he just was.
I want you to do me one favor. Stop always judging people against the damn Cowboys.
Because I'm watching it harder than I would most games. And he did. He got to 2 Super Bowls, and he disrupted the last play of the game because Joe Burrow was running for his life and couldn't make a pass that could have kept the game alive, right? Okay. I'm just, you made the case you would take him over Patrick Mahomes and maybe put him 2?
Based on,
it's just crazy.
Based on him in 2000 on, I will put him behind Brady in front of Patrick Mahomes because Aaron Donald is so disruptive. It doesn't even make any sense.
It also was more difficult for him because he's playing, not that he didn't play some outside, but mostly he's playing one of the 2 inside positions.
You can move him up and down the line all day long.
You can.
They don't. You can disguise him in so many different places where they can't find him. I understand what you're saying about the quarterback position because the quarterback position is the position, it's the glamorizing position. I get it.
Plus, you just got the ball in your hands.
I understand that. But remember what I've always said to you about drafting.
Mm-hmm.
If I got a franchise quarterback, I'm drafting him. If I got somebody that's going to go get that quarterback, I'm drafting that guy. If I got a guy that's protecting me at the left tackle, I'm getting him, whether, it's a Jonathan Ogden. Then I can find me a nice receiver or a shutdown corner. But Aaron Donald is probably the best defensive tackle in the history of the National Football League and only played 10 seasons.
Reggie White's right in there.
Well, Reggie played the end mainly too. So mainly he was on the inside in the scheme. Yeah. But Aaron Donald, man, I'm just a fire hydrant. First of all, he's not even
not the biggest guy.
Not the biggest, just fire hydrant. No. You're not talking about Calais Campbell at the defensive tackle.
No.
You're talking about a squatty 6'1" dude that's, 290, maybe 285, okay? And built like a wide receiver. Man, you got to see this dude, man. He got like 2% body fat. He's just a different guy. But I get what you're saying about the quarterbacks.
But would you take him over Lawrence Taylor as a game wrecker? I mean, Lawrence is not going to get down in a 3-point stance at defensive tackle. He's standing up on the edge.
I just want you to do me a favor real quick. Can I run this highlight back? I just want to see one highlight. I just want you to look at that, Skip. I want you to look at the disruption of being able to swim, get in the backfield, drag the dude down. Look at that. That dude, come on, man. You see what he did to little old Kyler Murray. Now, look at this. Look at this. I'm going to push your ass in the back. And,
Wait, was that safe?
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't Joe Thomas, was it?
It was number 75. I don't know if it was Joe Thomas or not. But my whole point is, look at that. Like, come here. Oh, that's not Kyler Murray. That's the Dobbs dude. But look at this.
The Dobbs dude.
Look at that.
I know him. I know it upside down. But if you're going to give me Brett Favre or Peyton Manning or Drew Brees, I'm sorry. I'm going to take him over Aaron Donald by virtue of the position that they own and command.
If I see what I see from Aaron Donald versus what I seen from Drew Brees throughout that time, I'm not taking Drew Brees.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Boy, I am. It's just not even close to me. And it's just, you remember how good Drew Brees, what a dart thrower he was? It's just hard to find it. It doesn't grow on trees. And I know Sean Payton had a lot to do with that.
Yeah. Deshaun had a lot to do with it. They had a lot of success in New Orleans.
They did.
They went to one Super Bowl.
Yeah, but they went to it and they won it.
They went to one Super Bowl, and they won that one Super Bowl and never got back again. So I get what you're saying. A lot of statistics. A lot of numbers. The numbers look great.
They're sensational.
But this dude, disruptive.
Okay, I got it. Listen, the great Mark May, did you work with him at all at ESPN?
Yeah.
Okay. So one morning I'm in the workout room at the Residence Inn in Bristol, Connecticut. I lived there for 10 years. And Mark's on the treadmill. Yeah, I know, but I actually liked it there. But that's just me. I got my dish up on the 3rd floor and the whole thing. But I'm seeing Mark, and he went to Pitt. And he's telling me before that draft, he said, people are sleeping on this kid, Aaron Donald, who I'd not really looked hard at in college. And Mark was so right because he said, he might be a little undersized, but he's going to tear this league apart. And he was correct about that.
I met Aaron Donald at ESPN when he first came out, and I laughed. I looked at him, like, they go eat him up.
Yeah.
How wrong was I? I just looked at him and, I'm like, damn, he's small.
Yeah.
Because I've seen bigger defense. I played with Sapp and them, the big old Booger McFarland and them dudes. And so I'm looking at him, I'm like, he's kind of small. But that didn't matter.
Mm-hmm.
So, I understand what you're saying. I get it, the quarterback, but he's ahead of Peyton Manning. He's ahead of Drew Brees. He's ahead of Brett Favre.
So the one guy on this list where I'm having second thoughts if I got quarterback versus position is Randy Moss, where if I'm doing Drew Brees versus Randy Moss, I have to stop and think hard about it because you made a point earlier in the show. This is the freak of freaks.
Yeah,
this is where it's just like we never saw anything like this. And I got your Terrell Owens, and I got respect.
No, I've never seen anything like
this is, I got respect for you.
Oh, yeah, but I don't care. I mean, I did what I needed to do.
But this guy
It was
comes
different.
in.
I'm the first person to tell you it's different.
I don't know how you didn't get
I wish I
MVP
could have
that
played.
year with,
I wish I could have played opposite of a
Patriots.
Randy
You could've
Moss.
got MVP that year. I went to a lot of those games.
Did you? Okay.
You know how much fun I would have had playing opposite of Randy Moss?